Welcome to the Channe Show, hosted by yours truly, Kavita Channe. Today we're joined by Marley to talk law school, her foundation, growing up Marley, and a whole lot more. Marley, law student, philanthropist, blogger, social media influencer, and just an all-around awesome human being. I am so excited to have you on the Channe Show today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, I follow you on social, and I have to say you are such an inspiration. You are so classy. You do so many great things out there for the community at such a young age. So I just want to start from the beginning because we're going to get into all that in a minute. You are the firstborn of Rohan Marley, and Rohan is, for those that don't know, Bob Marley's son. So you basically grew up Marley. What was that like for you?
It was very fun. I have to say, the musical experience that I had at such a young age definitely shaped me as a human being. It gave me, like, on my mom's side, it's very businessy. On my dad's side, very artsy. So I feel like I got the best of both worlds, and we're a huge family, so I love it.
As I said, you're the firstborn, and then your mom, Geraldine, and your dad, Rohan, had you and your brother, Nico, in college. So when I look at pictures of you and your mom, it looks like you're with your older sister. When I look at pictures of you and your dad, it looks like you're with your older brother. Now you have 10 siblings total, huge family, okay? And you guys all get along so great. It looks like one big happy family. So what's the secret? And do you want a huge family yourself?
The secret is we don't have a choice. But I think both of my parents come from large mixed families as well. So we don't see each other half brother or step brother. The real secret is, we all have the same goal. Like, at the end of the day, if our parents are not around, we only have each other. So you really have no choice. And then it's also, there's a huge respect component in it as well. So, like, you listen to your older brother and sister, and that's how it works, I would say. And then, I want a huge family. Maybe not 10, that's excessive, but we can, like, start between, I'll say 3 and 7.
What? 7 kids? Wow. And you're going to birth them all yourself. I mean, I have 2 and I want maybe 2 more, but
I will birth them all myself. If I have 7, I'm not birthing them all myself.
I know. I have to tell you, when I was younger, I was scared of being pregnant. I thought, oh my gosh, breastfeeding's so weird. Having a baby come out, ow, I don't want to ruin anything. And now that I've had 2 kids, and I realized, in my experience anyway, that it was such a beautiful, like, godly experience, and I enjoyed it so much. You can eat whatever you want. You can wear the tight dresses. You don't have to suck in, and you get this beautiful baby at the end. It gets addicting. So be careful. Once you start having fun, you might just want to keep going.
Okay, we'll see. I'll get back to you on that one and let you know.
When you look at your family, just even like your uncles and your just extended family, everyone seems to do something different. Some are involved in music, some are in, entrepreneurs, your father with coffee, and then also with the clothing and with all the different businesses he does. And then you have Eden, who you have this whole family of, like, doing all these businesses and all these music things. And then Eden's like, hey, I want to go to law school and I want to be an attorney. And then you also have Garden of Eden, which we'll talk about soon. But how did that come about? And are you the first in your family in that area?
In my family, I manage everyone and everything, including my dad. And I'm always like, I would say I delegate everything, and I kind of tell everyone what to do. It just works out. So now I can do that in the business side of it on both sides. I'm the first in my family to go to law school, to finish law school. Yeah.
And I know your dad's so proud of you. I mean, you can just tell, just for people that know him as a friend, and then just for people that don't know him, even on social, he's so proud of you. What has that been like for you, going to law school? Now you're doing the bar. So what has that whole process been like for you?
Going to law school, I was like, I'm not giving up my life. So I just learned to manage. So I lived in New York City, and you already have that kind of just, like, hustle mentality, like doing 1,000 things a day. So I was like, I'm going to keep this up and just, like, throw law school into the mix. It was so hard, actually. Like, my first semester was like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to finish this. And then I just pushed through. And then I would say it got easier for me once I did my first legal internship, because now all of the things you're learning get to make sense in practice. So yeah.
Also, while you're doing this, you're, in law school. Now you've graduated, right? So you're studying for the bar right now?
Yes.
Right. So you also have your organization, Garden of Eden. And I love the name. I think it's amazing. Like you could not have chosen a better name. What inspired you to start Garden of Eden, and tell us what it is and what you guys do for the community?
Before coming to America, I had a very broad overview of, living in Haiti and Jamaica and seeing so much poverty, and then, but being privileged as well, and then coming to America, and then just, I don't know, I always was able to see the differences between me and other people and what privileges I had. And, so growing up, it's like, oh, I want to like basically afford someone this privilege to do that. And that's where the mentality came from. And both of my parents are also have a very generous spirit. So that also probably they instilled that in me for sure. So the Garden of Eden, it's just a youth empowerment organization, I would say. Our mission is to empower youth and women as well by cultivating self-esteem and self-worth through arts, education, health and wellness, and community development initiatives.
I saw something that you guys did in Haiti. And so what was that about?
So that is our annual Women's Empowerment Initiative. And so we go out to Haiti and it's a 2-day retreat for about 300 girls ages 10 to 17. And we provide sexual education, STD testing, and treatment if necessary. We always have an arts component. So the first year we painted a mural, and then after that we did like a hair braiding and just like fun with the hair, learning about your hair, learning to love your hair. And then on the second day it's more health and wellness. So we do yoga, self-defense classes, horseback riding, and we do it at a farm. So they also get to learn about like the environment, sustainability, learn how to kind of have a healthier diet and how to provide food for yourself. And then we give out care packages that just promote all of these things. And then we have a computer lab there so that they can kind of just enhance their education. We do it in one youth center in Haiti, and they have girls from all different areas of Haiti. And then hopefully we can grow and do it everywhere.
I love it. So how do people get involved, and how do they donate money to your charity?
So to get involved, you can always just reach out to us through the website, and then also to donate money, the same thing through the website, and it's gardenofedenfoundation.org.
I love that so much. That is so cool. And I'm sure your parents are super proud of that. I wanted to talk just because of what's happened in the past few months. We had the pandemic, and then right after that, we had the George Floyd incident, which shone a light on what's been happening in America for so long. But your mom is Haitian Lebanese, your father is Jamaican. And so you are a citizen of the world, and that's what I consider myself as well. And then you do talk about the fact that also because you are Marley, you did grow up privileged. I mean, people know the name, everyone in the world knows the name. So maybe, and I don't know, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe you didn't experience like some forms of racism as other people say, like they were targeted by police or whatnot. So like, what is just your whole kind of like outlook on what's happening right now in the United States? And like, what advice can you give, say, to our friends who maybe never experienced it and are, I guess they call it now, white privilege? How can they help without being insensitive? Because I think a lot of people are afraid to speak up or say anything because of saying the wrong thing.
Yeah, I would say that matters for sure. Just, yes and no to what you said about not experiencing racism due to privilege. At the end of the day, I'm Black in America, so I've experienced racism. Just because someone sees me, they don't think, oh, yeah, she's this person, let me not target her. Any Black person basically is a target. It just depends on who is the aggressor, I would say. Yeah, what's going on in the world has been going on forever. I guess now we just have a proper light shed on it. I mean, change is happening. I have an optimistic view for sure. I would tell people to be understanding, listen more than you speak, and try to have an open mind, because it is something that, you can't really understand, but, look at it, try to put yourself in someone else's shoes and try to understand and educate yourself as much as possible, because I think that is the issue. I think many people, there are many racist people in America, but many people who are not racist, I would say, are just ignorant and sometimes can say silly things. So listen, educate yourself, have an open mind.
And also to those people that are, ignorant and not racist, I do feel bad because I think a lot of people don't watch the news. They don't want to read up on history. They don't like to hear negative things. Sometimes I feel like I'm guilty of things because things will be going on in the world. And I'm like, okay, I didn't know that, because I don't want to pay attention to sad and bad, but we have to, especially now, because if we don't, eventually it's like brushing things under the rug, and then it just comes out the way it came out now. So I think that's such good advice that you're giving people. And that, as for law, what kind of law are you going to practice?
So I started actually in New York doing criminal law, and actually had a police brutality case. And
wow.
Yeah, I know. It was actually the worst experience in my life, because the officer was on the stand, and it was literally what we're watching on TV. And it was just firsthand, and just watching an officer be so brutal. And then I went on the corporate side. So I've been doing intellectual property litigation, and hopefully will continue that. And through the organization, will try to help on the criminal defense side without actually having to be in the courtroom.
So was that kind of like an experience where you thought, I can't see this every day?
Yeah, I was like, I can't, because you go home and that's like what's on your mind. Like, I remember driving home, literally crying actually. I'm like, wow, this world is so cruel. Like, and I just don't want to feel like that every day. Like, I want to be able to go home and kind of just like enjoy my home time, like disconnect from work. And so, yeah.
That's very smart of you, because it is very hard. I will say it's very hard to leave work at home. So, you know, a lot of times it gets consuming. And so you sometimes, if you're that person, you don't want to fill your mind with those negative thoughts and whatnot. I don't know how some of these people do it. There are people that can do that all the time. I mean, shout out to them. They're heroes.
Yeah, seriously, hats off to them. It's gruesome.
So, okay, let's talk about the pandemic really quickly. So as far as the pandemic and coronavirus and COVID-19, are you from the camp of it's just the flu, or are you from the camp of I go out with masks and wear gloves and stay 6 feet from people?
In between. I go out with a mask. I don't wear gloves as often as I should, but I'm more of a, like, as soon as you walk in the house, wash hands, take clothes off, and definitely 6 feet apart. I think we should have been 6 feet apart anyways before. Like, people were we were very too invasive. Yeah, definitely, you know, it's not a joke. I think it's real, and we should be very aware and alert of what's going on around us. I think this is a revolutionary year.
It really is. And I don't know about you, but for me, listen, I don't want any bad thing to ever happen, but I like people not being so in my personal space. And I like the fact that people are being more clean in restaurants, in salons, if you go anywhere in public, people are more clean and they're more conscious. That part I do like. Obviously, I wish not one life was lost from that. But is there anything that you can take away from what's happened so far in 2020, just from what we've been through? Like, what's your biggest takeaway?
It's kind of a selfish takeaway. I personally have not had a break from life in a very long time. So for the first time, like, I was living in New York City, I was in law school, as you know, working. And so for the first time in 8 years, maybe, I was able to come home, spend time with my family, not really do anything except for go to Zoom classes. And now, I mean, I've had so much time off. Now I'm studying for the bar, but just don't take certain people and moments for granted, and just truly, you know, even throughout our day-to-day busy lives, just, you know, savor every moment that you can with people who love and care about you.
That's so beautiful. It's so true. When everything was coming in, it was getting lifted, I thought, oh my gosh, I don't want to get back to the hustle and bustle.
I know.
I love watching people on their bikes playing out in the street. I don't want to see cars now filling the streets. I don't want traffic. And that's the one part that sometimes I do kind of have this fantasy of moving to Montana on like a farm. Before you go, I know everybody wants to know, how do you get your skin glowing and so dewy and beautiful looking? Or is that just natural?
A little bit of both.
Give us the secret. Give us the secret. You see my matte face? I want a dewy face like yours.
Oh, your face looks perfect. But I do use, and I wouldn't recommend it for daily use, but M61 Glow Pads. It's just an exfoliating pad that I use like maybe twice a week after I wash my face. But yeah, it works.
Twice a week, M61 Glow Pads. That's what makes
Power Glow Pads.
Power Glow. Okay.
I mean, I would like to think so. I like the M61 line. I like in general. I love it. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, you could be a beauty blogger. We would all be following your beauty tips.
Maybe one day.
Right? Thank you so much, Eden. This was so much fun. And
Thank you, Kavita, for having me.
yes, this was amazing. And, we got to get, your brother just launched a CBD business. So we got to get him on talking about that. Is there anything you want to tell us about that before you go?
Yes, I use Lion X on the daily. And actually, so I'm on the computer like this all day. So I actually rub the cooling balm on my shoulders and my lower back all the time. And he truly exceeded all of my expectations. And I really think that anyone should give it a try, whether you are pro CBD or not.
All right, Eden, we're going to do something really quick that I like to do with all my special guests. It's called 5 in 10. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. You got 10 seconds. Are you ready?
Yes.
Favorite food?
Italian.
Favorite Marley?
My dad.
Second favorite Marley?
Ooh, my cousins.
Favorite book?
Ooh, right now my soul looks back.
Favorite news source?
New York Times.
And your favorite wine?
Channe Rosé, baby.
Thank you so much, Eden, for being here. You're amazing. We have to have you back.
This is Eden Marley. You're watching The Channe Show. Don't forget to like and subscribe.